Okay, boys and girls, welcome back. Redmissed in the house once again. How you doing? I hope everyone's doing great. I'm doing great, and we, my friends, are playing some more Magic Legion. Now, I want to go ahead and show you what I've kind of changed up and a couple of stuff and things. Now, I'm hoping that the game's not going to be too laggy because I am recording this while I'm suffering from a little bit of internet issues. So because of unlike other games that I play, it's not against live people as much, so hopefully we're not going to suffer too much. But first off, I want to go ahead and check on the guild right here, because I quite often will go and hit a mission and see if people will obviously complete the mission. So as you can see right here, I've got one active right now. It did cost 300 gems, but I need to get those runes for those three skills that I need, and it's going to cost me a lot of runes. One is 8,000, another one's like 6,000, and another one's like 1,000. So we're talking about 1,500 runes, which is pretty insane. So for this one right here, it's consumed, or the guild consumes 3,000 energy. Unfortunately, it doesn't really tell us how people are doing on it. It just kind of tells us that it's active. So can't really find that out. But these other missions that the guild is actually able to do, pretty cool. Some of them, but hey, we're not really too fussed. I was just hoping that that would have been completed. Now, I'm going to be doing a little bit of the hard tower today, and hopefully, excuse me, and hopefully we're going to be able to get pretty far. So, obviously in here we're just trying to get as many runes as we possibly can, and we're going to be doing some good stuff and things. Now, I will be fighting those other season thingy-majiggies later on today. But I want to go ahead and show you what I've done. Now, I've changed up a couple of things. Excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat right now. Now, because of the spells that I'm going to be bringing into my later on deck, I'm trying to get out of the habit of using the witch. Even though she is super, super strong, one of the skills that I'm going to be using is going to kind of negate her effect. So I'm trying to learn to use a different combination of people. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because of the fact of the King Monkey has that knockdown effect. Like, this is pretty insane. He does tons and tons of damage. Like, each one of his spells give him 400% attack damage, but his secondary spell knocks people down for 3 seconds. Now, that is pretty damn insane. When you compare him with the War Mage, who gives that speed buff, he pretty much attacks non-stop. He attacks so quick. The freeze on the front row from the princess is great. Allows Arno to do 25% extra damage to any frozen targets. Also, this guy attacks in a column, so the first person in the front row is going to receive an extra 25% damage. So really, really good. You can pretty much change the War Mage out to anyone you like. If you prefer to use your skills more protective / buffing skills, then I would actually suggest that you change him out for... I don't know if I've got her. You change him out for the Blood Commander, because then the Blood Commander is going to give you more damage, and she's also going to give rage to every hero. So she's going to give 25 points of rage to every single hero, as well as increase everyone's attack for 10 seconds. Whereas something you've got to remember with the War Mage is he only adds 50% of rage to the friendly unit with the lowest rage, but he technically heals twice as, or casts skills faster than the Blood Commander would. So I guess it kind of evens things out, because he kind of gives people rage at the same rate as the Blood Commander does, because he's giving twice as much. So effectively, she would use her skill twice, giving everybody 50% rage. He would use his skill twice, giving 2 people 50% rage. So overall, the Blood Commander would give one person 50% extra rage in them 2 attacks than what the War Mage would do, but he makes it so Arno attacks quicker. So considering that you don't need to worry about the third person as much, because obviously he's going to maintain his own rage quite a bit, he's only going to be giving rage to these two heroes anyway, because Arno doesn't lose rage. So that's something to think about, but if you want that extra damage, then go for the War Mage. If you want that speed for Arno to do more damage more quickly, go for the War Mage. Damage is Blood Commander, War Mage is speed. So, now, one other thing that I've done, guys, I've gone ahead and reset my my traits slightly. Now, I had stuff in Magic Hit and that, but it's not enough to significantly change things up. So what I've done is I've gone and reset my settings, and I've focused predominantly into magic damage right now, but I will be adding, like, obviously strength and stuff, because obviously when you add more points into strength, that means that your standard like melee attack, when you're not casting any spells, is going to do more damage. But as long as you have a good amount of attack power and stuff, you shouldn't really have to use that spell too often. So physical damage isn't really as necessary as I was thinking it was going to be, but still, it's still quite nice to have, especially if you're running, like, I would definitely suggest, if you're using more protective spells or speed enhancing spells and stuff, then you don't need to work on Whiz. What I mean by that is, if I go into, say, the formation and I look at spells, now, for example, spell 1, spell 5, like, what's that, 9 and 10 are not attacking spells. But if you start changing other spells out, like bringing knockdown spells, by bringing speed spells, the less damage dealing spells you have, the less you need to have your whiz. So then you need to kind of focus a little bit more on physical, because you're going to rely on your hero's physical abilities more than your hero's magical capabilities. So that's just a little thing that I want to put out there. But we're going to jump into the hard mode tower. Now, I don't know how far we're going to be able to go up into this hard mode tower, because obviously it's hard mode. It's going to be a lot stronger than the other towers that we've faced before. I do have a slightly different deck now as well, because I'm trying to obviously get used to playing a deck without the witch, but we might put the witch back in there. The other thing that I find as well is, when you're playing in the tower and stuff and you're against these kind of people, it's sometimes a little bit more difficult to make the witch effective, because if you've got an enemy team that has a lot of rage stealing heroes, it's hard to obviously get that the rage built up for her to be super effective. So sometimes it's just nice to have that brute damage. But you kind of need to take into consideration that it's not always the best to have brute damage, because it's not always going to work. But sometimes, just sometimes, it's definitely going to work. So it looks like we're going to do all right. Like, we might be able to get a fair bit down. Do you know what, guys? I'm gonna do it. Like, yeah, let's go do it. I tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna come out here and we're gonna go into this inventory right here, because in yesterday's video we did get these 3 cards. So I tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna go and open up these bad boys before we start getting anything from the tower. We're gonna open up these bad boys and we're gonna see just what we get. Hopefully we're gonna get something really special. Now, he's actually not too bad. He's pretty good. He's got like a knockdown effect as well. But ideally, we're looking for a hero that we use. And, oh my god, seriously. Okay. So that was a complete waste of time. We should have just left those cards alone and let them get dusty in the inventory. But I don't know how far we're going to be able to push up. Now, on my other account, which isn't as strong as this account. I think I managed to make it to like the level 5, so considering that this account is stronger, I'm hoping to make it to at least sort of level 10ish, because obviously otherwise it's just going to be a bit pointless, and we're going to have to seriously consider getting some like powerful skill setups before we can like really push on. So without making this video too long, I'm probably going to stop at zone 5, and then sort of maybe push over into the next video and stuff, but I will continue to take you through this tower, because obviously some people have a hard time. Like, look at this, guys. This guy is punishing me. He is really strong. Like, look at this. I'm going to have to use my first skill here to, like, obviously make sure we take some... Oh, my God. Okay. Yeah, that witch is going to annihilate me. I can't do anything against that witch. I just don't have the spells yet, guys. The witch is really, really hard to fight if you don't have the right skills. But one thing that you can do is, obviously, you can move stuff around. And if I do this, like, I'm going to have my full damage going after the witch, and I'm also going to have a knockdown effect going after the witch. So it helps you get past the stages if you kind of move things around. If you like focus on certain troops, like now Arno and my King Monkey are gonna be focusing their damage towards the witch rather than the source of fear. So not only do I have the knockdown effect on her, I have the freeze effect, and I also have the like sheer damage of Arno. So sometimes moving your heroes round and doing different things can help you pass the stage. Like, if you look at that, like the last time I got defeated, but literally by having the exact same things, but just moving my heroes round, helped me get past the battle because of obviously taking out that certain hero. Also, if you have like certain skills upgraded, the witch wouldn't have been an issue whatsoever. But that's just kind of one of them things that you've got to do. Like, sometimes you have to make do with what you have until you can afford to get those things that are necessary to make things really, really easy. But if you can defeat it without those skills that are going to make it really easy, then fantastic. Like, my hat's off to you guys, and put down in the comments down below what you actually done to make it so that you could pass through things. Like, do you have as much battle damage as me? Are you like lower battle damage than I am, but you have different setups on your skills? I don't know. Like, as I say, I've changed my heroes round. Like, this isn't the strongest heroes that I can bring into the setup, and I'm still at 296,000 battle damage. If I went and put in the witch instead of the Monkey King, I think I go up to something like 350 or 310 or something like that. Yeah, look at that, like 321,000 battle damage, but then obviously I could put other stuff into these guys as well, and stuff, so I could make it a little bit stronger if I put the witch back in. But I'm finding that knockdown effect of the Monkey King plus his extra damage is a little bit more effective for me right now. But I really hope that you've enjoyed this video, guys. Please hit that like and subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I shall see you in the next one. Peace on the streets.